Welcome to this week's edition of the Seekonk Speedway Race Day Rewind, produced by Souza Media, where we recap all the weekend's racing as part of the 75th anniversary season of the Action Track of the East. The Seekonk Speedway podcast series is a production of Seekonk Speedway and Souza Media. For more information on Souza Media, visit kylesouza.com. And for more information on Seekonk Speedway, visit seekonkspeedway.com. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another edition of the Seekonk Speedway Race Day Rewind Report. This time, we're recapping all the action from 2 nights of exciting racing on Friday, August 13th, and Saturday, August 14th. An exciting weekend with Fast Friday racing starting to wind down, and NASCAR Saturday back in action. And, of course, Saturday night was our fan appreciation night, Everett's Auto Parts night at the track, fans on parade, the pit party. If you weren't there, you missed a lot of exciting action on Saturday. Friday was good as well as Fast Friday. I mentioned 6 races to go going into last week. Only 5 left in the 2021 season. Hard to believe we're that far in to our 75th full-time season of racing at the Action Track of the East. As we do each and every week, we're going to recap the racing action from this past week, and then we're going to speak to a couple guests. One of them is a feature winner for the first time. The other, a former champion moving up to a new division this year. We'll check out with him how he thinks things have been going. Let's start off with our feature racing recaps from Fast Friday, August 13th. And we'll start off with our Seekonk Grand Prix Bandolero Bandit division. Now, this division, as we mentioned earlier on other editions of the podcast, has seen 2 drivers dominate over the course of the year. In the first 3 weeks, it was Darren Krantz Jr. taking down 3 consecutive wins to open the season. However, since then, there's been another driver that's taking control, and that driver, I nicknamed him the Mosquito. The Mosquito. Other people have nicknamed him the Green Monster. Whatever you say, Sam Mosquito has been extremely impressive over the last 5 weeks of the season, and Mosquito is now with 5 consecutive wins in the Seekonk Grand Prix Bandolero Bandits. That is about unheard of in any division anywhere, never mind right here at Seekonk Speedway. 5 consecutive wins for this youngster in the Bandolero Bandits. Congratulations to him and his team. They've done a phenomenal job over the last 5 weeks to really step up their game, and it's showing with multiple checkered flags. Second place went to Melania Shawoski. Now, Shawoski's so close to her first career Seekonk win. I'm sure she's going to get it soon, but another great run in second for her. Points leader Darren Krantz had another podium finish, 3rd place for him in the feature race. So you take a look at the championship, Darren Krantz continues to show the way. He leads by 26 points. Shawoski is second. Mosquito has jumped up to 3rd now. He's 30 back going into the final 5 weeks of the season. So Krantz leads, Shawoski second, and Mosquito 3rd. In the points, it's Mosquito in victory lane on August 13th. Let's move on to the Everett's Auto Parts Sport 4 division. 25 laps for them on tap. And for the first time this year, I guess a surprise winner, we can say, in the Everett's Auto Parts Sport 4s. Carlin Levesque gets the job done in the Lucas Milhop number 44 machine. Now, Carlin is a former winner in this division. He's no stranger to victory lane. Hasn't been there in a while, but very impressive run on Friday night for Carlin. Had the fastest lap in the feature, and really, in my opinion, put on the fastest show of anybody on the track. What a run for Carlin Levesque to get the job done in the 25-lap feature, his first win of the year. Second place was Mikey Lafort. 3rd place was Crystal Murray. 4th place was Tim Bolger Jr. And 5th place was Tyler Duhanchik. Now, if you look at what these guys have been able to do over the course of the first couple weeks of the year here, and I say the first couple weeks, we had a couple rainouts in the middle to start the year, so they really haven't run a ton on Fast Friday. But when it comes down to the stretch run, I'll tell you one thing. Crystal Murray, Mike Lafort, and Tim Bolger continuously run inside the top 5. And if you take a look at the championship, Murray leads Bolger by 2 points. Lafort is 3rd, 22 points back in the championship battle. That is going to be one of our tightest battles at the track going forward down the stretch run of the season. Have to watch those 3 drivers. But congratulations to Carlin Levesque, the feature winner on August 13th. Let's move on to the Seekonk Grand Prix Bandolero Outlaw division. Now, these drivers are a little bit older than the drivers in the Bandits and a little bit different restrictor plate. They go a little bit quicker around the 3rd mile. And for the first time in his career, After 16 long minutes in the lead, Brent Robidoux takes down the win, leading from green to checker. A 16-minute race. That's a pretty long race for Bandoleros. We had a couple cars have to get towed off the track, one after mechanical failure in Richie Helger's entry. Joey LeMay also had to get towed off the track after an accident there in turn number 2. So a little bit of a longer race, and I know it was probably stressful for Brent Robidoux, but he leads all 15 laps and picks up his first career Seekonk Grand Prix Bandolero Outlaw win. Congratulations to the Robidoux team and the Robidoux family. Very impressive. He's been very impressive this year in the Outlaws. We talked about it a couple weeks ago. He's getting closer and closer to Everett's Auto Parts victory lane, and he finally made his way there on Friday night. Second place was Jace Mungeon. Third place was Nick Chaber Jr., Chase Sylvia, a career best run in fourth, and Andrew Gomes, behind the wheel of the number 10, a career best run in fifth position for him. Championship standings in the Outlaws. Richie Helger, I mentioned a mechanical failure. He did not finish, so he only leads by 10 points now over Jace Mungeon. 10 points back to Mungeon. Robidoux is up to third. He's only 12 points back as he looks to compete for his first track championship. Now that he's got his first win, what a story that would be if he can pull off the championship here in a victory season. First career win for Brent, and again, second place to Jace Mungeon, third place going to Nick Chaber Jr. Let's take a quick break on the Race Day Rewind Report. When we come back, we are going to welcome in Brent Robidoux, the winner for the first time. Stick with us right around the turn. All right, welcome back to the Race Day Rewind Report. Our first guest of this week's edition of the podcast is a first-time winner from the Seekonk Grand Prix Bandolero Outlaw Division. Now, we talked to this driver last year as part of the podcast series when he was running up towards the front. This year, a different story. Brent Robidoux has really been impressive over the first 8 or 9 weeks of the season. A lot of strong runs, and Friday night, it finally all came together for this youngster to pick up his first career win. Brent, welcome into the show. Take us through what that race was like. I was just talking before I brought you in here in the other segment that it was a longer race. There was a couple accidents that required some of your driver competitors to get towed off the track. Was it stressful? I mean, you know that this win was coming for a while, but it must have still been stressful to lead and have to wait all those laps to try to get to the end.
Yeah, it was very stressful. After leading the entire race and then getting like a good run, all of a sudden, then the caution comes out. I'm like, come on.
Yeah, well, come on. All of a sudden, I think you got 3-4 yellows in that race. But, hey, let's look at the bright side of it. It worked out great. You got your first career win. You had 2 second-place finishes before you won. You also had a third. You had a fifth. You had a sixth, I think. You had a bunch of finishes up at the front. So what does it feel like to finally get in victory lane? This has got to be so exciting for you here as we're a couple days after it still, but you're still probably living on a high with all this momentum.
Yeah, it feels great to finally win. It puts a lot of stress off my back after getting all of that, getting like the momentum of like, I'm going to win. Now we can get rid of that because I've done it.
Yeah, I mean, that's behind you now. So you got your first career win. You know, we were just talking in the last segment before I brought you on about the championship battle. And I know, you told me last year, you don't want to deal too much with the points. You just want to see how it goes. But, man, you're only 12 points back in this championship battle. Have you seen that? Are you thinking about battling for the championship here with only 5 weeks to go?
I am thinking about it. And you never know. You know what can happen.
Well, I think it's still, you got to go out there and do the best you can every week, right? And just see how it plays out?
Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah, that's what he's going to do here over the final 5 weeks of the season in the Seekonk Grand Prix Bandolero Outlaws. Brent, who are the people that are helping you? Some sponsors, your crew, your family. I mean, they've all been working very hard to be able to get you into victory lane.
Yeah, I just want to thank my mom, my dad, my brother, just all of them, my family, Tiny Veterinary Services, Helger Systems Power Equipment, and Signed by 6.
Well, Brent, congratulations once again. Your first career win. big congrats go out to you to pick up that moment. Very special moment for you down in the track after the race. Congratulations, and we'll talk to you again here, maybe in the thick of the championship battle in a couple weeks.
Thank you.
All right, that's been Brent Robidoux. We'll take a quick break, and then we're going to move on as we get ready to preview the Pure Stocks and the Legend Cars from this past Friday night. Stick with us. All right, welcome back to the show. So great to catch up with Brent Robidoux. Congratulations to him on his first career win in the Seekonk Grand Prix. Bandoleros Outlaws. I don't think that's going to be his final at Seekonk Speedway. He is going to be moving up through the ranks and one to watch going forward. So that's it for 3 features. Let's move on to the final 2 from Fast Friday. Again, recapping August the 13th. The Helgers South Coast Power Equipment Pure Stocks were on the track for a 25-lap feature. Once again, a great race for the Pure Stocks. These guys put on a great show week in and week out. Really impressive what they were able to do. 25 laps, 13 minutes later, Curtis Rolando is in victory lane. Another first-time winner, this time in the Helgers South Coast Power Equipment Pure Stocks. Now, Curtis is no stranger to Everett's Auto Parts victory lane at Seekonk Speedway. It is his first career win in the Pure Stock division, but it is not his first career Seekonk win. He's a former champion, actually, of the Seekonk Youth Racing Association back when we had the Mini Cup division. So Rolando, no stranger to the track, returning this year after multiple years away, racing up in the state of Maine, and he finds himself in victory lane. Called him Jimmy Johnson on the track after the race because he's got the Jimmy Johnson throwback scheme. Man, it looked good. And he finds his way to victory lane for the first time in the Pure Stocks. Congratulations to him and his family, and welcome back to victory lane. Danny Massa finished second. That's another podium run for the 3-time winner so far this season. Congrats to him. Jim Riley was third, his first career podium. Jim Riley has really picked up the pace this year in the Helgers South Coast Power Equipment Pure Stocks. Very impressive, the turnaround for him from last year, where he really struggled in basically his debut. And now all of a sudden, Jim Riley's a contender to get to Everett's Auto Parts victory lane. So Riley with a third. Jordan Threlfall was in 4th position. That's his second straight podium run for Jordan Threlfall. And rounding out the top 5 was Joey Morissette in the TTM Motorsports number 77. Great race for the Pure Stocks. Championship standings there. 5 weeks to go. Greg Perry, who had won the week before. Greg finished 6th this past week. He leads the point standings by 10 over Joey Morissette. Danny Massa is 3rd in the championship, also 10 points back. Those 3 drivers going to battle that out over the final few weeks. And the chaotic race of Fast Friday, the finale, as you could say, of the Fast Friday series from August 13th, is the one that everybody is still talking about, and that is the Nick's Pit Stop Legend Cars. Now, there's a lot to cover. I'm going to make it short and summary sweet. If you want to watch the video, check out the track YouTube page to check out everything that happened in that Legends Cars feature. Let's cut to the chase. Final lap. Yep, right to the final lap. Wookwa Brun is second. Now, coming into the race, Wookwa Brun had been to victory lane already. Let me count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times in points racing at Seekonk Speedway this year. Wookwa Brun had been to victory lane 7 times overall, because he did win the $1,000 to win race on the Bay State Classic Wednesday night. Well, Brun's running second on the last lap, coming out of turn number 2. As they come down the back straightaway into turns 3 and 4, it's Pepe's son. And that's the best way to describe him, because a lot of people know Pepe, but it's Jake Sylvia, little Pepe, out front looking for his first career Nick's Pit Stop Legend Cars win. And how about this? Congratulations to Luke LeBrun. LeBrun's able to get around him in the final corner. He was about 3 car lengths back going into turn 3. They make contact. LeBrun drives into the back of him. Up the track goes Pepe Sylvia's son, Jake Sylvia. And man, Luke LeBrun does it again in the number 88 machine. Chaotic race at the end for the final few laps. And in the end, Pepe's son comes up 1 spot short. Jake Sylvia, in all intents and purposes, a hell of a run for him. Really impressive what he's been able to do in the Nick's Pit Stop Legend Cars. Finished second on the track. Unfortunately, he did not pass post-race inspection, so that relegates him to a disqualification. That means second place goes to Reagan Parent. Reese Bogue, third. Giovanni Ruggiero, 4th, and Josh Parsons, 5th. Mason Tessier was 6th. Brendan LaBelle, 7th. Jacob Burns, 8th. Ben Amato, 9th. And Devin Deshays, 10th. So, LeBrun 2nd, Sylvia 1st going into the final corner. LeBrun gets into Sylvia. LeBrun wins. Sylvia finishes 2nd. Sylvia doesn't pass inspection. LeBrun still wins it. Parent finishes 2nd. So there you have the next pit stop Legends story coming up from this past Friday night. I'll tell you, I don't know that story is over as we get ready to wind down the season here. We'll see what happens this coming Friday night. Let's take a quick break once again from the Race Day Rewind, and then we're going to welcome in our second guest of the show. Smilin' Reese Bogue joins us after a third-place finish, his best run in the Legend Cars so far this season, and a transition from the Bandoleros as a champion to the Knicks Pit Stop Legends. The Smilin' One joins us next. All right, welcome back from the break, and welcome in to Smiley. Reese Bogue is joining us here on the Race Day Rewind podcast. For the first time in 2021, we chat with this young rising star. Now, Reese is a former champion in the Seekonk Grand Prix Bandolero division, also ran the Legend Cars up at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway last year as part of their road course a little bit. This year, racing with us on Fast Friday in the Knicks Pit Stop Legend Cars, and he's been impressive here in the last 4 or 5 weeks with a lot of strong runs. Reese, let's talk about those Bandoleros first. You were ultra successful there. You guys were able to win just about everything, including the championship and the Bandoleros. What's it been like to switch to these Legend Cars that I think are probably a little bit more difficult to drive from a driver's perspective?
Oh yeah, the Legends are a lot more harder to drive than the Bando, but to me they seem a lot more fun. It's more of a driver's car than a setup car. Setup is definitely important, but still, it's just a lot more fun to drive, and the competition level is so much higher. It's so much closer and aggressive racing week in and week out. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, so you ran up at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway last year. I know it's a completely different style of racing with the road course up there. But what's that like? I mean, obviously it's different than an oval because you're running left and right turns and you're slowing down and shifting gears and stuff like that. But did that help you think, get so acclimated so quickly to Seekonk with this Legend?
Oh yes, definitely. The road course helped a lot with getting used to Seekonk, but I apply things from Seekonk for Loudon too. So they help each other a lot. They go hand in hand. They're totally different styles of racing and driving styles, but they're both a lot of fun and they both help each other with different things and points of tracks and just different things like that.
Well, so you've been able to impressively here over the last couple weeks. You take a look at some of your finishes. I know this past Friday night you wanted to win, but a podium finish there, second place, I believe, after the tech issue we had there in the end of the race. I got to figure out the results myself. But you're inching closer to that first win in the Legend Cars at Seekonk. What do you think you need to do at this point to get that win?
I think I just need to change a couple things with line I'm driving and different things I'm doing. I'm getting through the pack and getting by people. Another issue we do have is tires too. I have 9 races on the tires I'm on, so it's kind of survival at this point. But I just need to change a little bit of what I'm doing, and I think we'll be right up there every week, hopefully battling first, second, third like we were last week, and hopefully get that win sooner than later.
Well, I think it's coming, especially with the way you've run here over the last couple of weeks. Reese, I know there's some people, some sponsors. I know your dad's working really hard to help you out, to get you prepared to get to the track every week. Who do you want to give a shout out to as we appreciate you joining us here on the Race Day Rewind?
I'd like to thank Helgers South Coast Power Equipment, Newcomb's Tree Service, Can't Touch Us, Snalton, Illinois, AJC Dumpsters, Critical Screen Printing and Embroidery, Critical Signs, TS Motorsports, Sean Buffington, especially my mom and dad. Couldn't have done it without those guys.
Damn, he's got the sponsor list down pat. And I'm sure he's going to be saying that in victory lane here. Maybe over the final 5 weeks of the season. Hard to believe we're down to that in the Knicks Pit Stop Legends. Reese, thanks for the time. Appreciate it. And we'll catch up with you here at the track. Wish you the best of luck in trying to get that first win.
Yep, no problem. Thank you, Kyle.
All right, that's been Reese Bogue. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to roll into the other features from Fast Friday. All right, welcome back from the break. I think I mistakenly mentioned there at the end of the Reese Bogue interview that we were going to recap some of the Fast Friday racing. We've done that now. You've heard all the recaps of Fast Friday. If you missed anything, scale back a second. You can listen to the recap from August 13th. I'm thinking that since you made it this far along in the podcast, though, you did not missed that. Now we're going to move on to NASCAR Saturday night. Everett's Auto Parts night at the track, Saturday, August 14th. And let's recap quickly the fans on parade and the pit party. A great experience for anybody that was at the track, with the fans allowed to come in the pits and meet with the stars and cars of Seekonk Speedway up close and personal. Thanks to the fans that came in. Also a big thanks to the fans that competed in our Fans on Parade. Now, if you're listening to the podcast and you don't know what Fans on Parade is, basically, if you have a favorite driver, you create a sign. I've seen drivers' heads blown up on a stick. I've seen costumes. You do whatever you want for that driver, and you walk around the track once with everybody else. And then we have winners that we pick based on how well people put their crew together for this. And what a show again for Fans on Parade. You guys did a great job coming out, walking around the track. Very enjoyable to watch, and always really appreciate what people do for this Fans on Parade, how much work the families and the crews put into it. So there you go. Everett's Auto Parts Night in the Track is in the books. Big thanks to Roy Andrade and his team. They also supplied a free hot dog and Pepsi to all the fans that came in the front grandstand. So huge thanks goes out to them for supporting the racetrack and supporting Everett's Auto Parts Night at the 3rd mile. Now, that was August the 14th on Saturday night. NASCAR Saturday night is in the books. Let's recap the racing action for you. A clean and green Saturday night. You know, there's not, honestly, much to hype over here with what happened on Saturday night. There was no crazy finish other than the Sportsman. It was a nice, typical night of Saturday night, and I think we needed that. There's nothing wrong with it. It was a nice, clean, smooth night of racing with 4 winners in Everett's Auto Parts Victory Lane on NASCAR Saturday night. The first winner, for the second time this year, Mike Cavallero parks the Elmwood Auto Truck Service number 80 Sport Truck from the Chaz Auto Body Sport Trucks. He does it for the second time this year. The former champion carries the checkered flag with that brand new truck that he got, probably 2 months ago. It's working out very well for him as he picks up another win. Former champion Mike Duarte finished in second, a strong run for him, his best of the year. And third place was Amy Arsenal, the driver of the Moe's Moving number 9. Now, of course, Amy, we talked to her last week after she won her first career race in the Chaz Auto Body Sport Trucks. This week, a 3rd place finish for Amy. Congratulations to her. Barry Shaw finished 4th in the Everett's 85, and Brittany Campbell with another strong run in 5th. Chaz Auto Body Sport Truck Championship battle is going down to the wire. Barry Shaw showing the way in this division. He leads by 26 points now over Radical Rick Martin. Amy Arsenal is just 6 more back in 3rd, 32 points back. So Barry Shaw, the favorite here to win the Sport Truck title. He got 4th on Saturday, but it's Mike Cavallero, the big winner. Helger's South Coast Power Equipment Sportsman action was on the track once again, and another win for Chad Baxter behind the wheel of the Richard Sprague RLS Performance number 0. Now Baxter, count them up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That was his 6th win of the season behind the wheel of the number 0. He's also got a 2nd place and a 3rd place podium finish mixed in there as well. Chad Baxter's been the dominant force this year in the Helger South Coast Power Equipment Sportsman Division. He leads the championship standings by 38 points over Corey Fanning. That's almost 1 whole race in the Sportsman. That's how good that Chad Baxter has been this year. Congrats to Richard Sprague, Chad Baxter, and that crew. They've really, really got it figured out in the Helger South Coast Power Equipment Sportsman. It wasn't easy for him, though. He had to start in the middle of the field, had to charge to the front in a race that did not have a caution flag, green to checker, and he passed Chris Rio for the lead in the final couple laps. Rio started on the pole, got out front early, and for all intents and purposes had the race won until Chad Baxter snuck underneath him with just a few laps to go, and it's Baxter who picks up the win in the Helger South Coast Power Equipment Sportsman. Rio finished in the 2nd spot, Steve Axon was 3rd, Craig Pianka 4th, and Chris Gomes returns to the top 5 with a nice solid 5th place finish. So there you have your Helger Sportsman recap. Baxter again up by 38 points. Going to be tough for anybody to close in on him here in the final few weeks of the season. The Everett's Auto Parts late models were also on the track. 12 cars on hand for that one. And for the 2nd consecutive week, Everett's Auto Parts is in victory lane for Chase Belcher. 2 in a row in a race that went only 6 minutes and 53 seconds to go through 30 laps. Belcher goes for 2 on the season. A little bit of a rough start for Chase Belcher. They didn't have the speed they wanted early on in that number 35. But man, he's been quick the last 2 weeks on the season. Congratulations to him. I actually believe that might be his third win of the year for Chase. I think it was his third win. I think it's 3 out of 4 now for Chase Belcher in the Everts Auto Parts Late Models. Vinny Renegado finished second in the number 17. Richie Murray started ninth and drove up to third. The former Sport Truck champion doing a nice job in his rookie campaign. Josh Hedges was fourth, and Bobby Tripp rounded out the top 5. So Belcher wins it in the number 35. 3 now on the season out of 4 in the last 4 weeks for him. Renegado was second, and Vinny opens up his points battle. Take a look at the championship standings in the Everts Auto Parts Late Models. Impressive for Vinny Renegado. Leads those championship standings, 490 points at the top for Renegado. Second place now is Josh Hedges. He jumped ahead of Jerry DeGasperi in the Late Model Championship chase. 24 points. Renegado leads Josh Hedges by going down the stretch run of the season. Remember, the Late Model division, along with the Sport Trucks and the Sportsman, their final points race this year is the DAV Fall Classic on Saturday, September the 25th. It might be the 26th, whatever that Saturday is. The Pro Stocks have their final points night a week earlier on Saturday night. So the Late Model Championship battle going to go right down to the wire. The reason for the Pro Stocks being the week before is because we've got the Pro All-Star Series returning at the DAV Fall Classic. So Vinny Renegado is down to the final 5 weeks in the quest for his first career track championship. Hedges is not going to give up without a fight. We'll see how that goes here over the stretch run of the season. And those Pro Stocks that I mentioned, they've got 5 races to go, including last past Saturday night. So 4 races left now that this one's in the books. And there is no surprise here. Dynamite Dave Darling does it again in the Pro Stocks. 40 laps was the distance. Darling was not to be denied. The Johnson Landscaping, Alameda Farms, Bristol Toyota. Actually, wait a minute. I think Alameda Farms is not a sponsor of his anymore. They were years ago. Take Alameda Farms out. Johnson Landscaping, Bristol Toyota, very impressive. Dave Darling from 7th to the win in the 40-lapper, dominated it. Ryan Kuhn did a nice job working his way up to the field from the back as well. Kuhn able to finish second. Dylan Estrella was third in the Everts Auto Parts 46, a strong run on Everts night for him. Mike Brightman fourth, and Kenny Spencer was fifth. Championship standings in the Pro Stocks. Dave Darling has all but run away with it as long as he shows up over the final 5 weeks of the season and doesn't have a catastrophe. He's going to do it. He's going to set that record as the first ever 8-time champion in Seekonk Speedway history. Kuhn is second in the points, and Ryan Kuhn's had a heck of a year, but Dave Darling's just that much better in 2021, and honestly, he's been that much better over the course of the last couple years. So there's no denying what Dave Darling has done in the Pro Stock division. All right, let's take a quick break from the Race Day Rewind Report. That's it for race recaps. When we come back, we're going to wrap the show and preview what's coming up over Phil's Propane Triple Crown Series finale weekend. 9 races, all for the Triple Crown Championship. Very exciting weekend of racing coming up. Stick with us, and we'll talk about it. All right, welcome back from the show. I mentioned Phil's Propane weekend is coming up Friday, August 20th and Saturday, August 21st. First, all 4 of the Saturday divisions and all 5 of the Fast Friday divisions will compete in the finale of the Phil's Propane Triple Crown Series. If you're not aware of the Phil's Propane Triple Crown Series, it's a 3-race series. Separate from the overall points track championship battle, we have our own Phil's Propane Championship battle. And in the end, 4 drivers in each division, and in one case 5 drivers in one division, are going to battle for this championship. It's very simple. They were selected as the first 2 races of the Triple Crown. Whoever won the first 2 races is locked in, and the other 2 drivers that are in by points, accumulating the most points in the first 2 Triple Crown races. This Saturday night is going to be big. This Friday night is also going to be big. The winner of the 4 of them is the Triple Crown champion. It's kind of similar to NASCAR in the final points night, where the winner out of the 4 drivers is in. Basically, whichever of the 4 drivers in the division finishes ahead of the other 3 wins the Triple Crown. That could be if they finish 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, the winner is in and wins the Crown Championship. If they finish 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th, the 7th place finisher wins. If they finish 20th, 21st, 22nd, and 23rd, the 20th place driver is the champion. Phil's Propane Triple Crown Series night at the track this weekend. Friday night, we'll crown our Fast Friday Triple Crown champions. Let's mention who is in the finale for them. In the Bandolero Bandits, sponsored by Seekonk Grand Prix, Darren Krant, Sam Macedo, Melania Shawowski, and Mikey LaForte will battle for the crown. In the Seekonk Grand Prix Bandolero Outlaws, we had a tie in the points battle here. So Steve Bowden, Nick Chaber Jr., Richie Hoger Jr., the aforementioned Brent Robidoux, who joined us here in this edition, and Adam Harrison will all battle for the Phil's Propane Triple Crown Series title. In the Bandolero Outlaws, in the Everett's Auto Parts Sport 4s, Mikey LaForte's part of the final round. Tim Bolger is also, along with Crystal Murray and Matt Peon, making the finale in the Everett's Auto Parts Sport 4 division. So congratulations to those four. We'll see who goes out there and gets the job done. Helger, South Coast Power Equipment Pure Stocks. You got Danny Massa, Timmy Ouellette, Curtis Rolando, and Joey Morissette. So a great group of four there. And in the next pit stop, legends Mason Tessier, Luke LeBrun, Devin Deshays, and Josh Parsons are the four drivers battling for the Phil's Triple Crown Championship. NASCAR Saturday will kick off with the Chaz Auto Body Sport Trucks, 25 laps to decide their Triple Crown champion. Barry Shaw, Rick Martin, Amy Arsenal, and Mike Caballero will decide that one. They are also the top four in the overall track title standings. In the Sportsman, sponsored by Helger's South Coast Power Equipment, Chad Baxter, Ed Perry, Craig Pianca, and Corey Fanning will battle. In the Everett's Auto Parts late models, Jerry DeGasperi, Chase Belcher, Josh Hedges, and Nick Uring will battle. And in the Pro Stocks, Dave Darling, who won the first two Triple Crown races, will battle Ryan Kuhn, Tom Scully Jr., and Rick Martin. A great mix of former champions, track winners, track favorites, all over. They're fan favorites, all of them. Congratulations to all of these drivers for making the finale of the Triple Crown Series, and we will see which one gets to the head table as the Triple Crown champion. Now, Friday night action continues this Friday night. Phil's Propane night at the track. Special night, 7 p.m. Races get underway as usual. No change in any of the times. Tickets are $10 for adults. 12 and under children are free into the grandstands. Saturday night, NASCAR Saturday, Phil's Propane night at the races. It is also, as I mentioned, Phil's Propane night at the races. So give them a big thanks when you see them at the track. His crew is all coming down on Saturday night. $15 for adults, 12 and under. There is a fee for that. I believe it is $5. I'm trying to pull that up here. I'm blanking on what the ticket prices are. Of all things, I blank on the ticket prices, the things I should know by down pat. Whatever the case, $15 for adults for NASCAR Saturday night. If you are a child between 6 and 12, it is $5. 5 and under are free for Phil's Propane night. You can buy tickets in advance at SeekonkTickets.net, or you can also just show up to the track and buy the tickets at the track. Congratulations to all of our feature winners from August 13th and 14th. Congratulations to all the drivers that made the finale of the Phil's Propane Triple Crown Series, and good luck to each and every one of them. For now, ladies and gentlemen, so long. Enjoy the rest of your week. We will see you at the track for Phil's Propane weekend at the 3rd mile coming up this week. Talk soon.